This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
Lights low, city breathing through the glass. Static in the system, everybody talks fast. They so comfy, selfie, self-spread, kicking repeat. But I learned how to listen when the silence starts to speak. Red heavens on the dashboard, something's running underneath. Truth bomb, shout louder, hums it, please. They say sky in your lane, say no, behave. But I felt the fluctuate way before it gets. They call it chaos, I call it a sign. You don't feel the shift, you're scared of the grind. I don't chase approval, I don't need the cry. I just tune it out, feel the thing.
Following program is rated MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, it doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh, I think we know this already. It does not matter who the host is. What has always mattered is who the listeners are. Anyways, we are broadcasting from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, on this lovely Monday, February the 2nd of 2026, as we are coming across the multiverse known as Safety FM, and then hanging out with our friends and colleagues over there.
Radio in USA, Canada, UK.
Oh, yes, that's what we do. We get to hang out. We get to do some stuff and all kinds of interesting things as we are doing our world. So how have you been? How has the last, 48 hours or so, maybe a little bit more, been for you as we have been, surviving, depending on where you're located in this lovely country of ours, or if you're in a different country. But hey, if you're here in, in the southeast, because that's where we're located, boy, has it been cold. I want to say, as of this morning when I woke up, it was 26 degrees. So I don't know. What do you think? A lot of stuff, though. That's for sure. So anyways, let's not get into the weather stuff. Because, let's just be realistic. People in Florida do not know how to act when it comes to cold weather for the most part. I mean, I'm just saying, because if you go outside, you see people rocking the parkas going, is it really that cold? I mean, it happens. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong or indifferent for doing that, but man, boy, does that change things when it's all said and done. So let's talk real quick about what our show's about, if you're not familiar with it. Our show consists of safety in the news and safety. That's kind of what we do. We talk a little bit about this. We talk a little bit about that. We bring you some major news stories coming from Feature Story News. And then we kind of go through the whole plethora of things to talk about. Everything that we have loaded up. We'll go through, talk about, I'll give you a versionality of a main story. We talk about news and safety for the most part in regards of what's going on inside of the world. I know last night was the Grammys, so we'll have some stuff to talk about there, no doubt there. So with that being said, if you want to interact with the show, it's a simple process in doing so. All you have to do is go to callinradio.com. That's callinradio.com. Once you get there, audio, video, and text messaging are the options. So you can do a video message, you can do an audio message, or you can do a text message. It gives me a prompt on the screen, and then I know exactly what to do from that point on. That's kind of what the process goes through in regards of everything. So if you're good with that, I'm good with it. We can move forward, do the setup, and thank goodness that everything is cool. With that being said, If you're good, I'm good, and I'm ready to move her over. That is no doubt there in regards of getting everything done and saying, okay, is that an espresso for you? Yeah, I think that's what I would say. Okay, so with that being said, I have my people from Feature Story News waiting in the wings, ready to go. So if they're ready, I'm ready, so let's do it.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News, I'm Rebecca Bondon in Mumbai. Billie Eilish, Lady Gaga and Kendrick Lamar are among the winners in the 68th Grammy Awards in Los Angeles. The song Golden, the breakout hit from the movie K-pop Demon Hunters, has become the first ever K-pop song to win a Grammy Award. Laura Westbrook reports.
K-pop Demon Hunters was the most watched movie in Netflix's history, with more than 480 million views. Now a new record, with the song Golden picking up a Grammy, the first for a K-pop song. The track is a self-empowerment anthem sung by fictional girl group Huntrix. The song has already seen success this award season, winning Best Original Song at the Golden Globe Awards, and is also nominated for Best Original Song at the upcoming Oscars in March. Its success at the Grammys comes amid the rising global recognition of Korean pop as a cultural and commercial force. Laura Westbrook, Hong Kong.
The Indian government has focused on sectors including manufacturing amid rising global uncertainties in its new budget for the coming financial year. The budget was presented in Parliament on Sunday, but without any ambitious reforms, it fell short of expectations. Neha Punya reports from New Delhi.
This was the 9th time that Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman presented the union budget, but she was very quick to make a reference to the geopolitical headwinds that have shaped this year's policy document.
Today, we face an external environment in which trade and multilateralism are impaired and access to resources and supply chains are disrupted.
A big focus, given the impact of the American tariffs on labor-intensive sectors, was on manufacturing, particularly on the textile industry. The government says it will set up mega textile parks to help Indian exports become more competitive. This is one sector that's also hoping to benefit from the recently signed India-EU trade deal, and exporters have welcomed these announcements. Another focus was the announcement of a second semiconductor mission. The government says the aim will be to fortify supply chains and produce equipment locally to reduce reliance on imports, a reference to China's hold on the market.
Rescue efforts are continuing, but at least 200 people are feared to have been killed following a landslide at a mining site in the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo last week. Chris Ochamringa has more from Kinshasa.
A heavy downpour lashed the Rubaya mining site in the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo, causing the mines to collapse. Several artisanal miners were buried under the mud and rubble. The M23 rebels controlling the site say they've recovered 200 bodies. Fears are rising that the death toll may increase as rescue efforts continue. Several injured miners have been taken to local health centers for treatment. The Rubaya mine has huge deposits of coltan, which is used to make components for smartphones and computers.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks, hearing again today from Geoffrey Hinton, the pioneering scientist who is known as the so-called godfather of AI. On Friday, we heard him predict that the technology is on track to wipe out virtually all jobs currently performed by humans, but not quite all of them. Today, Geoffrey Hinton's careful thoughts about what kind of tasks may be left in the hands, quite literally, of people rather than machines.
It's very hard to see far into the future for things that are developing very fast. A few years in the future, we can make good guesses about what's going to happen. 10 years in the future, nobody has any clue what's going to happen. We should be worrying about that and trying to do things to protect ourselves. So far as I can see, the best kind of education to get will be one that encourages you to think, independently, but also something that educates you in STEM so you can understand what's going on with AI. And then one other thought is, AI is lagging in terms of physical dexterity. Replacing intellectual jobs is going to happen before they replace jobs that require physical dexterity. So I've sometimes said being a plumber will last longer than being a lawyer.
And he argues that governments should be regulating AI to protect society from its worst aspects, noting that in some recent tests, the technology appears to be developing a consciousness of its own. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
Here's the main news again. Billie Eilish, Lady Gaga and Kendrick Lamar are among the winners in the 68th Grammy Awards in Los Angeles. The Indian government has focused on sectors including manufacturing amid rising global uncertainties in its new budget for the coming financial year. Rescue efforts are continuing, but at least 200 people are feared to have been killed following a landslide at a mining site in the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo last week. And that is the latest feature story news. Rebecca Bunton reporting.
You are listening to something magical. You're listening to the Rated R Safety Show.
Well, you know that here at Safety FM and Radio Big, we're always trying to look for life hacks. So with the busy season just around the corner, you might be looking for wholesome, convenient meals for your jam-packed days. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kits, can help you fuel up with fast chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, and ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, eat well, and stay on track with your healthy lifestyle. Refresh your healthy habits without missing a beat. Choose from 34 weekly flavored packs. Dietitian-approved meals ready to eat in 2 minutes. All you need to do is head over to factorsmeals.com/safetyfm50 and use code safetyfm50 to get 50% off. That's code safetyfm50 at factormeals.com/safetyfm50 to get 50% off. Go there. Do it now.
More sarcasm than a Mortal Kombat beatdown. Rated R Safety Show.
Hey there, Jay Allen here with Safety FM, where we just don't talk about safety, we live it. And when it comes to safeguarding your future, there's no better partner than Acorns. This part of the show has been brought to you by Acorns and a powerful tool that makes saving and investing easier than ever. We all know that investing can feel overwhelming, especially with busy lives and no time to dive into the nitty-gritty of financial markets, but Acorns changes the game. With Acorns, you don't need to be a financial expert or have a hefty sum of money to get started. In fact, Acorns lets you begin with just spare change. It's all about those small steps, small investments today that can build into something much bigger over time. Acorns recommends that the expert build portfolio designed to fit financial goals. Then it does the heavy lifting for you by automatically investing your money. It's like having a financial advisor in your pocket working around the clock to help your money grow. So why wait? Head over to acorns.com/safetyfm or download the Acorns app and take that first step towards securing your future today. Remember, in the world of safety and investing, small actions today can lead to mighty outcomes tomorrow. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides an incentive to positively promote Acorns. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisors. View important disclosures at acorn.com/safetyfm. At Safety FM, we're all about making smart decisions on the job and in life. So take control of your financial future. This is Jay Allen reminding you to stay safe, stay smart, and invest in your tomorrow.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete signal transmission trilogy, now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion, the book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission, the final piece of the signal. For the first time, all 3 books are together in one volume. The Signal Transmission Trilogy, Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.
Let's start using cutting-edge warp-speed 5G technology with your cell phone. Let me tell you about my friends at mobilemobile.io. They have an ultra-fast 4G LTE and 5G network that covers 99% of Americans. So they've got you covered everywhere. Think about it for a moment. You have the opportunity to take a test drive for 10 days with unlimited talk, text, and premium data. What is premium data? Premium data is an allotment of a cellular data that you receive from a higher priority on the network. You won't get throttled like you will with some of those, non-brand service providers. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to mobilemobile.io. That's mobilemobile.io to start your 10-day free trial.
Hello. You are listening to a radio god. What? This has to be an error. That host is not a radio god. Anyways, this is the Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Okay, here we go. 15 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out on this lovely Monday. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So let's start getting into it. So besides it being cold in this area, let's talk about some other things that are going on here in Orlando because we have told you about it that last week, and I want to make sure that I tell you again this week because it's happening in a couple of days. February the 4th is right around the corner, and if you're in the Central Florida area, even if you're not in the Central Florida area, if you're just here, period, might want to give some serious consideration going down to Safety Day. No, seriously. Safety Day is on Wednesday, February the 4th, taking place at the Rosen Plaza. Listen, I'm going to tell you, you're not going to get a better bang for your buck in regards to that. Registration is still open, $50, includes lunch, parking, and the whole day worth of events. It lasts from, let's see, they're saying that the presentations are from like 8 to 4 is what we're looking at in regards of total. So there's going to be you can meet the speakers. The presentations are going to be empowering the next generation for cultivating safety leaders. You're going to have OSHA fall protection standards, preventing tragedy from every height, coaching and mentoring your way to safety, 5 critical challenges facing the crane lifting industry today. And then there's a speech about safety third. So there you go, some stuff going on. So 2 days is where it's going to be, within 2 days, acfs.org. And listen, CEUs are included into that. So acfs.org for more information. Like I said, February the 4th, Rosen Plaza, Orlando, Florida. Would love to see you there, that's for sure. So let's start getting into some of the stuff that's going on inside of the world of the multiverse, because that's kind of what we do around here. We talk about everything that's going on inside of the world, because that is what we do. So take a listen to this. The federal judge denies Minnesota motion to end immigration surge. A federal judge has shot down the Minnesota attempt to stop the federal immigration enforcement surge in the Twin Cities. The U.S. District Judge Catherine Menendez ruled that the Department of Homeland Security can continue the Operation Metro Surge in Minnesota and St. Paul, denying the request from the state and the two cities to halt the efforts. Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison argued that the operation was illegal in unfairly targeting the state, but the judge wasn't buying it. Menendez said that the courts can't micromanage where and how the federal government enforces immigration law, especially when recent appellate court's decision back Washington's authority to do so. She pointed out that the prior case were the much narrower injunction against DHS and overturned because interfered with enforcement of federal law. Menendez also rejected Ellison's argument that the surge violated the principle of equal sovereignty between states, saying that no legal precedent that would allow the court to block federal law enforcement simply because one state is getting more attention than another. So some stuff to think about for sure as we are talking. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on right there. So what else do we got? We got some stuff. I mean, let's just not lie here. We got some stuff. We got a lot of stuff, if anything. I mean, let's just kind of keep it real in regards to that. Let's kind of keep it more into some serious news stories for just a moment. Also, here you go. A federal judge absolutely unloaded on the Trump administration and ordered the release of the 5-year-old boy and his father from ICE custody. The U.S. District Judge Fred Breyery ruled Saturday that Liam Conejo Ramos and his father Adrián Alexandro Conejo Arias must be freed by tomorrow from a Texas detention center after being picked up by ICE in Minnesota. Conejo Arias is from Ecuador, and Breyery didn't mince words. He called the case as the result of a ill-conceived and incompetently implemented deprivation quotas, saying that the government appeared willing to traumatize children to meet daily numbers. He went even harder, accusing officials of cruelty, power abuse, and ignoring basic human decency. And even tossed in the blunt reminder that the Constitution still applies. The judge also slammed ICE use of administration warrants, saying that the executive branch issuing warrants to itself, the fox guarding the henhouse, and it doesn't meet the probable cause standards. Breyery acknowledged the family could eventually be deported under immigration law, but said that it must happen through a humane, orderly process, not chaos currently in place. So there you go. There you go. There you go. What do you think? I mean, it's just a lot of stuff going on right there as we were talking. Let's talk some little bit more here. President Trump has announced on Friday that he has nominated Kevin Warsh to be the next chair of the Federal Reserve Board, replacing Jerome Powell. Powell's term as chair ends in May, but he still has 2 years as the Fed governor. Yep, that's what it said. As the Fed governor. Usually chairs resign their governor terms after their chair terms ends, but unknown if he will, following the pressure of the campaign to lower interest rates by Trump. So there you go. What do you think? Interesting stuff for sure as we are talking. Also, a judge has ruled that Luigi Mangione will not face the death penalty if convicted in the murder of the healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, rejecting prosecutors' push for capital punishments. However, Mangione didn't get all good news. Judge Margaret Garnett ruled that key evidence seized from his backpack is admissible at trial, including a handgun, a loaded magazine, and an alleged manifesto. Defense attorneys argued that the items were illegally obtained without a warrant, but the judge wasn't buying it. The case took an extra bizarre turn last week when a Minnesota man, Mark Anderson, was charged with allegedly trying to break Mangione out of the New York jail by posing as an FBI agent. Prosecutors say that Anderson showed up with fake paperwork claiming a judge had ordered Mangione's release. The plot unraveled fast when the staff asked for credentials and Anderson to produce a Minnesota's driver's license, saw his documents at the officers, and warned that he had a weapon, which turned out to be a barbecue fork and pizza cutter like tools. Mangione's trial date has been finalized, but the judge Garnett expects jury selection to begin in September. Holy monkeys, that's still a long time away when it's all said and done there. So there you go. What do you think? What do you think? Some interesting times if you really give it some consideration there.
Safety never sounded so terrible. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so take a listen to this one. This one took a
interesting twist.
Inside of the world, Don Lemon is back out of custody after a brief federal court hearing on Friday in downtown Los Angeles. The former CNN anchor was arrested on Thursday night and L.A. in connection with his coverage of the anti-ICE protest earlier this month in Minneapolis area church. A judge quickly rejected prosecutors' request for a $100,000 bond, granting Lemon release on a no-cash bond and allowing him to travel freely, even internationally, despite the newly unsealed 2-count federal indictment. Lemon, now had an independent journalist, says that he was doing exactly what he's done for 3 decades, covering the news. Outside of the courthouse, he invoked his First Amendment, told supporters that he won't stop reporting, and said that this moment demands a free and independent press that holds power accountable. Lemon did not enter a plea, but his attorney says that he will plead not guilty and fight the case. His next court appearance is February the 9th in Minneapolis. Federal prosecutors allege that Lemon participated in a coordinated effort to disrupt a worship service during the protest, charging him and others with conspiracy and interference with religious freedom. Lemon insists that he had no role in organizing the protest and was live streaming the event as a journalist. The arrest sparked immediate backlash with high-profile Democrats, press advocates, and civil rights groups defending Lemon, while Attorney General Pam Bondi confirmed that the arrest was ordered directly by her office. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on right there as we are talking. What do you think? No, seriously, like, what do you think? It's some interesting times as we are going through the information. No doubt about that. So there you go. I have two that are under the entertainment thing that I think that we should talk about, if you're good with this. So are you good with this, or would you prefer that we don't? No, like, seriously. I mean, I don't know. I'm just asking the question. So I want to give you two. I'm going to give you two. So Bob Iger looks like he's finally ready to hand over the mouse ears again. According to the Wall Street Journal, the Disney boss has told people close to him that he plans to step down as CEO sometime this year, pulling back from the day-to-day grind before his contract ends in December 31st of 2026. Disney hasn't officially commented, but this lines up with the company's earlier statement that the new CEO could be named in early 2026. So there you go. Some changes in the House of the Mouse, if you're good with that. So there you go. And then this one, because I think that this one is super important to talk about. Catherine O'Hara has died. Her manager confirmed the news on Friday. No cause of death was disclosed. O'Hara climbed from waitressing at a Second City to becoming the most respected comedic performer in the last 50 years. She joined Second City in the 70s, helped turn SCTV into a cult classic, and built a reputation of fearless characters, razor-sharp impressions, and comic instincts you can't teach. Along the way, she racked up 5 Emmy nominations and a win, and zero regrets of walking away from Saturday Night Live before ever appearing on it. Her film career just stacked Beetlejuice, Home Alone, After Hours, A Nightmare Before Christmas, and a long run as Christopher's guest in a mockumentary, including Waiting for Guffman, Best in Show, A Mighty Wind, and For Your Consideration. Then came Schitt's Creek as Maura Rose, draped in couture, buried under wigs, and speaking dialect known only to herself. Catherine, let's see, a late career phenomenon. The show exploded after hitting on Netflix, and let's see, Catherine turned into one of TV's most iconic characters, period. Take a listen. Should we play these two clips? Take a listen to both of these clips.
I'm sorry.
No, wait. This is Christmas. The season of perpetual hope.
Ma'am,
And I don't care if I have to get out on your runway and hitchhike. If it costs me everything I own. If I have to sell my soul to the devil himself. I am going to get home to my son.
Okay, so that's coming from Home Alone, and then here is another one for Beetlejuice.
I'm here with you. I will live with you in this hellhole, but I must express myself. If you don't let me gut out this house and make it my own, I will go insane, and I will take you with me.
So there you go. And last but not least, let's just stop it there. Let's stop it there for now. We'll go into some other stuff as we are talking, because, it all can't be perpetual doom. That's for sure, as we are talking. So let's go into it a little bit more. Okay, so should we talk about this? You are aware of what today is, right? Should I go slowly here? If you don't know, maybe I should give you this clip here.
Tomorrow is Groundhog Day, and I'm going out to Punxsutawney. So, as you know, according to the legend, tomorrow, February 2nd, if the groundhog wakes and sees a shadow, we've got 6 more weeks of winter to look forward to, so keep your fingers crossed.
Okay, so there you go. Today is that day. Today is Groundhog Day. So there you go. If you're good with it, I hope that we all are in regards of it. So will there be a shadow? Will there not be a shadow? Who knows? That is that is a thing to say. So take a listen to this one.
All of the personalities on this show just saw their shadows.
What does that mean?
Well, it means 3 more hours of nonsense.
Okay, so we have 3 hours in total, so not 3 more hours, maybe a little bit more like 2. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on inside of the world as we are talking about everything that is going on inside of the world. So here you go. Okay, so let's talk about this one real quick. A woman said, in a TikTok video, a woman said that she said that she would required a deposit from a guy to cover her date preparation costs. She's working on an app for preparation called Play. So we're going to talk about it. So take a listen to this real quick, because I was kind of shocked when I heard this.
After I said I would require a deposit to take me on a date to cover my date preparation costs, I'm now working with an app developer to make this a reality. This is actually happening. We are building the app. I'm not even exaggerating when I tell you this is the best damn dating app you have ever seen, because there is a clear difference here where the woman can set the deposit rate and the man can pay for her date preparation costs. So as a woman, you're going to walk into the date already so happy, and that's going to lead to a better date and a better connection. And that gives the man a better chance of succeeding in courting you.
So a date preparation cost. So I guess this is going to be for the guys. Let me ask this. Would you ever pay a down payment to cover a woman's date preparation cost? The guy's already springing for dinner. Now he has to cover the cost for her getting ready. Is this totally unfair? And then ladies, would you like to see men cover the cost for your date preparation? I don't know, but this sounds extremely weird to me. And when I heard this, I was like, okay, we need to bring this in here and talk about this. So here's what I would like for you to do, if you don't mind. Go to callinradio.com. Let me know what you think about this date preparation cost, because it sounds a little weird. I mean, I'm just gonna tell you what I think here. It sounds strange. And could you fathom you having a conversation with someone and all of a sudden they tell you one or two things? And I mean, take it from whatever side you want to here, and go, would you like me to assist with your date preparation costs? That would probably be the first thing. Or if somebody told you in return, there is a date preparation cost fee, how would you feel about that? Now, I don't think that this is limited. I mean, she didn't really go into specifics, but I don't think that this would be limited to one side or the other, unless you think otherwise. So what do you think here? Could you fathom someone telling you that there is a date preparation cost for you to go out on a date? Sounds like a weird thing. That is for sure, as I am talking about it.
Listen at your own risk. Rated R Safety Show.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, some main story time as we are hanging out doing our thingo. No doubt about this one. So let's get into the music, because it makes the people come together. Oh, no, I think somebody else said that. Maybe I shouldn't repeat it. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on inside of the world of the multiverse, because that's kind of how it happens around here. How else would it happen? I have no idea, but something to think about or talk about as we are going through the whole systematic change. So let's get into it today. And let me explain this to you, because I think that this is going to be important. Let's get into something straight right out of the gate, because I think that this will be kind of the way that we should go down the path. You don't get to say that you're learning, improving. You don't get to say about learning, improvement, and growth, and then turn around and play judge, jury, and executioner the second that something goes sideways. Like, think about that for a moment, and I think you'll know exactly where I'm coming from. You don't get to do both. And get this, exactly what most organizations try to pull off every day. They put up a poster, they roll out slogans, and then they talk about learning, organization, just culture, and psychological safety. I mean, think about it. But the moment that something breaks is the moment when someone gets hurt, or the moment that the production hiccups. Suddenly, who did this? Why didn't we why didn't we just follow this procedure? And we need accountability. You know, you've heard all of this. And I think you just need a scapegoat. And you're calling accountability because it sounds better than in the boardroom. And let me say this clearly as possible. Learning and punishment cannot occupy the same space at the same time. They are mutually exclusive because learning requires truth and punishment guarantees silence. So here's how this usually plays out. So let's talk about it. An incident happens and nothing catastrophic, but enough to get leadership, a little nervous about some stuff. Now they announce an investigation because why would we not have an investigation? But everyone on the floor already knows what the word really means. Someone's about to get fucked because that's really what it boils down to. People stop talking, stories get cleaned up, details magically disappear. I mean, it's just like straight up magic sometimes on how they occur in regards of how they vanish. Seriously. Yes, it's the magic of magic. Timelines get fuzzy, memories get selective, not because workers are evil and not because they're dishonest, but because they learned the real lesson already. If you tell the truth, you pay for it. So don't act shocked when an investigation turns out nothing useful. They didn't investigate, they interrogated. That's what ends up happening. And here's the part that nobody likes to admit. Most organizations don't actually want to learn. They want to control. Let's see. They also want predictability. And the conforming of illusion that bad outcomes come from bad people. Because if it's a bad worker problem, then leadership doesn't have to look in the mirror. Systems don't get fired. Budgets don't get disciplined. Executives don't get uncomfortable. So we blame the individual. We retrain them. We write them up. We terminate them if we really want to feel decisive. Hey, we made the decision, the internal decision on what we're going to do. And then we stand there dumbfounded, wondering why the same shit keeps happening. And let me break this down really simply. If your response to failure is punishment, you're not running a safety system. You're running a fear system. Let me make sure that you understood that. You're not running a safety system. You're running a fear system. Fear systems produce compliance theater, checkbox behavior, ass-covering documentation, and people who will do exactly what they're told even when obviously it's wrong. Because fear doesn't make people safer. Fear makes people quieter. Yes, quieter. Now let's talk about the word that everyone hides behind. Accountability. Or should I do that with a megaphone? Accountability. Yeah, because accountability has so badly abused, it might be as well be known as a weapon. Real accountability is about understanding decisions, understanding trade-offs, understanding constraints, understanding why it made sense at the time with the decisions they had. Fake accountability is about finding the last person who touched it, assigning blame, making an example, and calling it leadership. If your version of accountability starts with the incident instead of before it, you're not managing risk. You're managing optics. And here's a brutal truth most leaders aren't ready for. If people are afraid to speak up, that's not a workforce problem. That's a leadership problem. If your people don't report near misses, that's not laziness. That's self-preservation. If your safety system only works when everything goes right, you don't have a system. You have a fair weather fantasy. You want learning? Then you need to earn it. Earn it. Learning requires psychological safety, consistency, and leadership that doesn't flip personalities the moment that something goes wrong. You can't say, we want honesty, and then punish the first person who shows up. That's how you train the entire organization to lie without saying a word. And let's address the elephant in the room here. Yes, sometimes people screw up. Yes, sometimes decisions are bad. Yes, sometimes lines need to be drawn. But here's the distinction nobody teaches. There is a massive difference between human error, at-risk behavior, and intentional harm. Most organizations treat all three exactly the same. And when you do that, you destroy trust faster than any injury ever could. If you want improvement, your first question cannot be, who failed? It has to be, what made this outcome possible? In some terms, you could almost even say, what failed? Not who failed, what failed? What made these outcomes possible? Because the second question leads to redesign. The first leads to revenge. And then revenge doesn't make you safer. It just makes you feel powerful for about 5 minutes. So let me leave you with this. If your safety program depends on punishment to function, no, seriously, if it depends on punishment to function, it will collapse the moment fear outweighs loyalty. If your leadership talks is about learning but act like cops, people will treat them like cops. And if you keep choosing blame over understanding, don't be surprised when the only thing you ever learn is how little people trust you. You can learn, you can improve, or you can blame and punish. But there's one thing for damn sure. Seriously, you can't do both. You cannot do both.
Oops, what did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with the viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You're listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
You ever hit the wall, burnout, stressed, or just feeling that everything is piling up and thought, yeah, I probably need to talk to someone? The problem is finding the therapist who actually takes your insurance feels impossible at times. That's where Rula comes in. Rula is a healthcare company that makes mental health care easy to access and actually affordable. They partner with over 100 insurance plans, so the average copay is about $15 a session, sometimes even less. With Rula, you get matched with the right therapist for you, not just whoever's available. Their network has over 15,000 licensed professionals, and you can book an appointment as soon as tomorrow. No wait list, no frustrations, just therapy that works with your schedule and your insurance. Thousands of people are already using Rula to get affordable, high-quality therapy that actually covered by insurance. Visit Rula.com/safetyfm to get started. After you sign up, you'll be asked how you heard about them. Please support our show and let them know that we sent you there. That's RULA.com/safetyfm. You deserve mental health care that works with you, not against your budget. Go to Rula.com/safetyfm right now to get started. That's RULA.com/safetyfm, because you deserve mental health care that works with you, not against your budget.
Listen at your own risk. Rated R Safety Show.
Hey there, Jay Allen here with Safety FM, where we just don't talk about safety, we live it. And when it comes to safeguarding your future, there's no better partner than Acorns. This part of the show has been brought to you by Acorns and a powerful tool that makes saving and investing easier than ever. We all know that investing can feel overwhelming, especially with busy lives and no time to dive into the nitty-gritty of financial markets, but Acorns changes the game. With Acorns, you don't need to be a financial expert or have a hefty sum of money to get started. In fact, Acorns lets you begin with just spare change. All about those small steps, small investments today that can build into something much bigger over time. Acorns recommends that the expert build portfolio designed to fit financial goals. Then it does the heavy lifting for you by automatically investing your money. It's like having a financial advisor in your pocket working around the clock to help your money grow. So why wait? Head over to acorns.com
acorns.com/safetyfm or download the Acorns app and take that first step towards securing your future today. Remember, in the world of safety and investing, small actions today can lead to a mighty outcomes tomorrow. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides an incentive to positively promote Acorns. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisors. View important disclosures at acorn.com/safetyfm. At Safety FM, we're all about making smart decisions on the job and in life. So take control of your financial future. This is Jay Allen reminding you to stay safe, stay smart, and invest in your tomorrow.
This isn't a safety manual. It's a transmission. Jay Allen, PhD, host of the Rated R Safety Show and founder of Safety FM, has spent years pulling back the curtain on the systems we work in and the ones we don't talk about. What started as a fatal crash on the 405 became a search for truth through behavior-based safety, human and organizational performance, simulation theory, and everything in between. Safety, in my opinion, is raw, reflective, and real. From burnout to breakthroughs, from the matrix to the moment someone says, "This doesn't feel right." This book doesn't give you answers. It hands you the signal. Safety, in my opinion. Available now, wherever books and audiobooks are found.
Another pitfall of our society. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, here we are. 45 minutes past the top of the hour. Hopefully everything is good and grand inside of your neck of the woods as we are hanging out, doing our stuff. So this right here, yeah, this one's called Signal to Noise, because that's what I named it. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on inside of the world of the multiverse. So Signal to Noise not available anywhere, just in case. That's what happens when you're building the stuff in studio. So there you go. A lot of stuff to talk about, but before we get into any of that, let me tell you about the most important thing that I will ever tell you in my lifetime, and that's about my friends at To Write Love on Our Arms. No matter what you're facing, you deserve to be connected to help, and we want you to know that people have been where you are now, and things can get better. Healing is possible. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to TWLOHA.com. That's TWLOHA.com, and click on the section that says Find Help. Once you get there, audio, video, and text messaging will be the opciones if you're so interested in doing so. Audio, video, text messaging will get everything moving and grooving for you. So there you go. TWLOHA.com. Once you get there, information related to addiction, depression, anxiety, eating disorders, self-injury, suicide, trauma, and grief support, just to name a few. TWLOHA.com, To Write Love on Her Arms. So there you go. So I'm going to tell you, go to that website. It can change everything for you. No doubt about that. Anyways, also before I forget, I want to reference this. There is some time for this one. If you're interested, we will be having the Conklin Workshop taking place in Santa Fe, New Mexico, March the 31st through April the 1st of 2026. Would love to see you there. We'll have Todd Conklin, of course, there. And then we'll have Redonda Voigt, Ann Liren, and Brent Sutton all doing their thing as we are hanging out and doing a workshop on an event that took place and doing some investigations when it's all said and done. All you have to do to find out more information is go to safetyfm.com and click on the section that says Live Event. Once you get there, all the information will open up, let you know what is going on. March the 31st through April the 1st. I'm going to tell you, spaces are limited for this because it is a workshop, so we want to make sure that we're able to sit there and talk to everyone about exactly what's going on as we're going out through the event. There is a QR code on the screener there if you're interested, so you can either have the option of going to safetyfm.com and clicking on live events, or just scan that QR code that's right there on the screen. I'm going to tell you, would love to see you there because it's going to be a good time as we sit around and do some incident investigation about a story that Redonda Voigt will tell you firsthand on what exactly occurred. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on inside of that worldo, no doubt about that, as we are hanging out doing our thing. So with that being said, I do have someone waiting in the wings ready to talk if you're ready to interact with them. Of course, John Small, as we are coming off of the weekend, will give you everything that he can inside of the Motivation Minute, telling you the best, because that's what he does. He tells you the good stuff. Sometimes there's some bad stuff, but at least he kind of keeps it upbeat with everything going on. So take a listen to the Motivation Minute.
Courtesy of JaceCaseMedical.com. Today's quote was submitted by Keith. Lao Tzu said, "Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished." I love this. Sometimes I feel like I'm in a hurry to get through life, and I don't know why. I graduated early. What was my hurry? Now I'm 50, and I look back at many times that I was in a hurry to get to the next thing. I plan to make some changes to savor the days that I have with loved ones. Last month, we lost a friend who was only 56. He was an amazing dude, and he's going to be missed. Be sure to live your life to the fullest while you can. We don't need to hurry to get to the next chapter. Enjoy this chapter. Go out of your way to spend as much time with your friends and family as you possibly can. Go on a date. Just because you can go on a date. Don't wait for Valentine's Day or an anniversary. Make plans and go today. The Motivation Minute. This has been the Motivation Minute. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
Mass protests against the Trump administration's hardline immigration crackdown stretch into another day, with crowds filling streets and cities across the country.
Demonstrators marched and rallied in dozens of communities, urging an end to aggressive raids and detentions targeting undocumented families. Many chanted against immigration and customs enforcement and carried signs calling for due process protections. Lawrence Keller reporting.
In Pakistan, the military says more than 90 militants have been killed in a sweeping operation after coordinated attacks in Balochistan.
Officials report militants targeted multiple cities in the mineral-rich province, prompting large-scale strikes by government forces in response. The army says at least 92 suspected fighters were killed, along with 15 security personnel and 18 civilians. Authorities have described the assault as one of the deadliest in recent months. Benjamin Wright reporting.
A mine located in the country's troubled east gave way midweek following intense downpours that saturated already unstable ground.
Congolese officials accuse M23 of controlling the area and profiting from unsafe, illegal mining operations. Rescue efforts have been hampered by difficult terrain and security risks, and many families are still searching for missing relatives as the death toll is expected to rise. Chris Anderson reporting.
This is the latest news headlines.
A powerful winter storm is slamming large parts of the United States, bringing heavy snow.
Forecasters warn that blizzard-like conditions and bitter wind chills could make travel nearly impossible in some regions. Airlines have already canceled more than 3,000 flights, stranding passengers at major hubs and smaller airports alike. Officials are urging drivers to stay off icy roads, and power crews are on standby. Kyle Norris reporting.
Authorities in Georgia say a police officer has been killed and another critically wounded in a shootout outside a suburban Atlanta hotel overnight.
According to investigators, officers responded to a call at the hotel and encountered at least one armed suspect in the parking lot.
gunfire erupted, leaving one officer dead at the scene and another rushed to a hospital in critical condition. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation has been called in. Kevin Sanders reporting.
In Louisiana, a community parade turned chaotic when gunfire erupted along the route, wounding 5 people.
The small-town procession had been moving through a residential neighborhood when shots rang out, sending families scrambling for cover. Deputies say the injured were taken to area hospitals, and the child's condition has not been publicly detailed. Investigators are interviewing witnesses and reviewing video as they search for whoever opened fire on the crowd. Jessica Oakley reporting.
And that's the latest news headlines with Alan Edwards.
From cow farts. Why doesn't someone just invent really large gas X pills? God, what's that awful stench? Radio.
Oh, yes. What is that awful stench? No doubt about that. Let's talk about some things that happened back on this date. Back in 2014, the Seattle Seahawks win their first Super Bowl, defeating the Denver Broncos 43-8. Also in 2021, Jeff Bezos announces that he is stepping down as the Amazon CEO after 30 years becoming the executive chairman. So there you go. Also in 1991, U.S. postage is raised from 25 cents to 29. Also in 1976, Rich Little Show debuts on NBC TV. So there you go. If you're looking at some celebrity birthdays for today, let me give you some of those. Graham Nash turns 84. Christy Brinkley turns 72. Marissa Jarrett, can't even talk, turns 53. And Shakira turns 49 today. So there you go. There's some birthdays going on for you. If you want to talk about some things you ought to know, I got some of those for you. Here are Friday's winning Mega Ball numbers. It was $303 million, 11, 34, 36, 43, 63, and the Mega Ball was 13. Since there was no jackpot winner, tomorrow's jackpot climbs to $323 million. Here's Saturday night's winning Powerball numbers. It goes like this. 2, 8, 14, 40, 63. Powerball was 23. Power Play was 3. Since there was no jackpot winner, tonight's jackpot will be for $65 million jackpot. So there you go. Also, President Trump says that the Trump Kennedy Center in Washington will shut down for about 2 years so it can undergo major renovations. And a Truth Social post yesterday, Trump said he's closing the venue is the fastest way to elevate it to what he called the highest levels of success, beauty, and grandeur, promising a massive grand reopening that will top anything the facility has seen before. The shutdown is planned for July the 4th, which Trump said is meant to be an honor to the nation's upcoming 250th anniversary. The move still needs approval from the center board of directors, but the board is now stacked with Trump appointees after removed the previous members in 2025. Those new board members, later named Trump chairman, effectively putting him in charge of the decision, which I guess makes it interesting, to say the least. Duh. So there you go. Also, the Department of Justice released 3 million additional pages of documents tied to the Jeffrey Epstein case, bringing the total of to the public 3.5 million pages, according to the Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanchie. The massive upload fulfills the requirement of the Epstein Files Transparency Act of 2025, making this the final batch of records that the DOJ is legally required to release. And I guess last but not least, the New England Patriots officially kicked off the Super Bowl week after arriving to the Bay Area following the cross-country flight from Rhode Island. The team departed TF Green Airport in Warwick and landed in San Jose just before 4 p.m. local time. The head coach and quarterback Dre May and the rest of the roster touched down 1 week ahead of the Super Bowl. So there you go. The New England Patriots will face the Seattle Seahawks in a rematch. The Patriots will base the pregame operation in Stanford University in Palo Alto and taking the field at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. So there you go. Anyways, that's going to sum up our time. Thanks for hanging out with us on this lovely day. At the top of the hour, I will be going over to radiobig.fm if you want to come and hang out with me for the next couple hours or so. If you don't, that's perfectly fine. You can stay here on on Safety FM and hang out with the likes of Sheldon Primus as he talks about the world of safety consulting. Over there, I'll be talking about the world of music and entertainment if you want to go over there. If I can't leave you with some words of wisdom for today, the purpose of education is to replace an empty mind with an open one. So there you go. And if you need some advice for today, focus your energy on $10,000 solution, not a $1 problem. You'll never have enough money by brewing coffees at home to make yourself rich, but all it takes is for one of you to identify one high upside opportunity and you'll get there. So there you go. Anyways, I know who you are. You know who I am. Love you, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed during this broadcast, podcast, or radio show are solely those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Safety FM and or Radio Big. The content discussed, including examples of analysis, is provided for illustrative purposes only. It should not be applied as the sole solution in real-world scenarios, as it is based on limited and dated open source information. Any assumptions made during this broadcast, podcast, or radio show are not reflective of Safety FM and or Radio Big. No portion of this broadcast, podcast, or radio show may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic, mechanical, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of Safety FM and or Radio Big. For permission requests, please contact Safety FM or Radio Big directly.
This isn't a safety manual. It's a transmission. Jay Allen, PhD, host of the Rated R Safety Show and founder of Safety FM, has spent years pulling back the curtain on the systems we work in and the ones we don't talk about. What started as a fatal crash on the 405 became a search for truth through behavior-based safety, human and organizational performance, simulation theory, and everything in between. Safety, in my opinion, is raw, reflective, and real. From burnout to breakthroughs, from the matrix to the moment someone says, "This doesn't feel right." This book doesn't give you answers. It hands you the signal. Safety, in my opinion. Available now, wherever books and audiobooks are found.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete signal transmission trilogy, now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion. The book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission, the final piece of the signal. For the first time, all three books are together in one volume. The Signal Transmission Trilogy, Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.
In safety, in my opinion, you woke up. You saw the system, the simulation, the structure that trained you to mistake compliance for care. Safety mutation. Information misdirection picks up where the signal fractured. Because the system didn't shut you down, it rebranded you. It packaged your voice, sold your rebellion as a new initiative, and smiled while doing it. This isn't a manual.
It's a decoded transmission about what happens when slogans replace stories, when safety becomes marketing, and when truth gets mirrored so perfectly, you forget it was ever yours. You'll see the mutation. Learning teams turned into theater, zero harm turned into optics, and feedback turned into formatting. But the signal didn't die. It was redirected.
Safety Mutation is Book 2 of the Signal Transmission Trilogy. Available now in print, Kindle, and audiobook. Narrated by the author J. Allen, Ph.D. Because the system adapted. Now it's your move.